Hey, what's up guys, Just Fast Boosters here and welcome back to another One Piece video. Another video going over a deck list and some gameplay going into the OP12 format. Or not OP012, just OP12 I guess. And we are playing Smoker, which is of course a deck I'm a huge fan of. I actually also wrote a guide for this deck a little while ago, like at the start of OP11, which I will be updating for OP12 as well. It's gonna be like in the link down below if that's something you're interested in. Gonna be writing the guide, or updating the guide I should say, with like the OP12 support. Well, it's not like direct support, right? But the indirect support before like the OP12 release is the plan for now. But yeah, just going over the deck list first and then gonna be showing some gameplay into OP12 decks, which are gonna be Zoro, Red Rayleigh, and then also, it's not like an OP12 deck, but it does get some support and it has been pretty popular on the ladder as well, Yellow Kid. But yeah, going over the deck list first. So I'm playing like not such a standard build, but it's just like for testing purposes, right? Because like most of the new builds, they're playing this card, this Bonnie, which is an amazing card, so I'm definitely not saying it's better or anything, but I just wanted to try this build where I'm playing like 10 Searchers. I would like to play 12 Searchers, like 4 Virgo, 4 Kujaku, and 4 Perona. I couldn't really find the space, and because you need to keep like all the targets at like a certain amount. And even as it is now, you sometimes whiff, and if you're playing the Bonnie, then definitely the Kujaku has to make space, but I really like playing like a lot of Searchers to always be able to drop my Smoker on curve, of course, because very important cards, right? The most important card in the deck. But yeah, so I'm on 4 Virgo and then 2 Kujaku and then 4 Perona, which is the new Searcher that says on play if your leader has a slash attribute, which we do because we're a Smoker in Tashigi's body. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and fill up to 1 slash attribute card or up to 1 green event card and put it in your hand. And then put the rest to the bottom of the deck. So we have like a lot of, or like a decent amount of targets for this. Like this Drake's actually also a target for it. Then we have Smoker. We have the new Mihawk. We have this event and this event as well, which is like very, very good. And the name is Demonic Aura 9 Sword Style Ashuga Deadman's Game. Because the pretty long name, but had to say it. Then Double Monet, 4 Sanji, 4 Chopper, still the 2 X Drake. I am on the full place of Rosinante. But this could also be Borsalino, but it kind of depends how the meta is going to shape up in the next set, so it's kind of hard to build like an exact deck list. It's just like a starting point, which is also why the guide is like, I want to drop it after the ban list drops, preferably. 4 Toshigi, 4 Smoker. I'm still on the 4 Hody, even though we did get this event, which has the same effect, but I just think this card is so strong. I'm on triple Mihawk. This card is kind of crazy. 8 cost, 8k, slash attribute, blocker, on play, set up to 4 if your rest of the Dawn is active, then you may not play characters with an original cost of 7 or more during this turn, so we're basically only locking ourselves out of playing the Hody. And then I'm one of the Punk Hazard event, 3 Morgan. Then this Paradise Waterfall, which has like amazing synergy with Mihawk, and also kind of with Bonnie actually if you're playing that, but it's counter your leader up to one of your characters gains plus 2000 power during this battle, and then set up to one of your characters active, so it's really nice synergy with the huge blocker. And then 2 of the Hody event basically, but it's also a counter event, which is pretty nice. It's just the green version of Divine Departure. But yeah, this is gonna be the list that we're going to be playing in this video, and I'm probably gonna do like a part 2 where I'm playing like a different list as well. But for now, let's just hop right into the gameplay. Starting off with what seems to be the most popular leader on ranked right now, which is Green Zoro, which I think is like a little bit of a weird matchup, but not necessarily bad. I want Dairo up to 2 go first, and like I have like pretty decent curve, right? I have Sanji on 3, then on Smoker, on 5 we have Smoker, and then 7 Hody. Hopefully we'll find like, I don't know, some alright pieces to play. He goes double Searcher, he finds the 5 cost Ashigi, I play this Sanji. Now if he runs it over with something like Quina, I mean, I would prefer for that not to happen, but it's not the end of the world. We still get to draw a card, and then next turn. So he does have Queen actually, but he does have the Izo, and he actually won't be able to do the leader effect. So that's fine. Then on this turn, we are going to be able to play Smoker. And Rosinante, I would assume. I don't really think there's a reason when you're playing against this deck to play the Tashigi alongside the Smoker. But I think I'm thinking about like a little bit like, okay, is there like a reason to play around it? But I don't think there is. So yeah, end up just playing the smoker, going like effects, swing 6 into the leader, and then I'm gonna be able to play the Rosinante, which if he tries to out my my smoker, then that's just there to protect him. Because he could go like 9 into smoker now, but honestly that's kind of, I feel kind of fine if he does that. Then he probably is just gonna go like search with the Hiyori, then play the Tashigi, I would assume. Because like now if he swings 9, even if I block, like he just swings 8, which is fine, I guess. So I counter with the Rosinante, then he's gonna be able to swing again, which he does, and he hits the Paradise Waterfall from my life, but I mean, can't use the trigger effect, right? And then he correctly plays it out, goes Hiyori. Even though I honestly don't think if I could have popped the Hiyori, then I feel like I probably wouldn't have done it anyway. And he draws the restand effect. Oh, he doesn't draw it, but he finds it. I'm like, okay, swing 5 into Hiyori. And then I would assume I'm gonna go Hody Smoker. I pick up the Punk Hazard event, which is kind of good here. And now I'm gonna swing 8 into leader, which works, which goes through. I'm like, okay, I could try to swing into the Shigi, but better just go full aggro here. And then since I do have the Punk Hazard event as well as Mihawk, as well as the Paradise Waterfall, I'm like, okay, I should probably be able to live another turn. Or like if we somehow get to a game state where it seems unlikely that I will live another turn, then we get to play the Hody again, right? So he goes Cavendish into Tashigi, which is pretty strong, I do have to admit. He swings into my Rosinante in here. I'm like thinking like I could go Paradise Waterfall, restand the Rosinante potentially, but honestly I also have to point out that the Igloo event, the Punk Hazard event, is also pretty good against Zoro specifically, since the reduction is for the entire turn, so even on the second swing it would be reduced, but I opt to not use it here. He swings Tashigi. Like, okay, I'll take it. I think I commit to just going for game. I'm like, okay, I'll just take the swings and try to go for game with Hody on the next turn. Probably. Because he has like a very large amount of big bodies on the board right now. I'm like, okay, I probably won't be able to defend out of it with the Mihawk next turn anyway. So here I opt to start with 9 on leader with Smoker. My opponent doing... Oh. That was weird. So I hit, and then I go Hody, and I think he admits, yeah. So what happened here, this looks really strange, I know, but I was gonna play, or I was gonna click deploy, or whatever it says to play down the Hody, but my opponent actually just admitted defeat at that point. So then the deploy button changes to back to main menu button, so that's what happened there. So he probably had like close to no counter on hand, and that this just kind of sealed sealed the game. But this was like a complete game. We actually just won the game there on the spot, even though it looked like a little bit weird. It caught me by surprise, in fact. But yeah, enough about that. Let's go to the next one, which is gonna be Rayleigh. Alright, going into the next game, we have Rayleigh. I haven't really played this matchup that much yet, but I do think it's a pretty rough matchup, just because Rayleigh is like a red aggro deck, and Smoker just tends to struggle a little bit with decks like that. And here I go Perona, but I actually missed the search, since Hody is strike, not slash. Imagine, right? Imagine if it was slash, that would be kind of crazy. I honestly think this Perona card is crazy anyway. So he opens really strong as well, Boa Hancock into Monkey Luffy for the 4-Dawn turn, which is the ideal turn, I think. And here I'm like, okay, what can I do? The answer is not that much, so I just go 5-5. And he actually takes both of them. So that is that's good. But then he actually opts not to go Luffy, but he goes Shakuyaku. Shaki instead. Plays out another boa, and he actually misses on the Shaki search, but he does find the Conqueror's Haki with the boa. So maybe he just doesn't have that many events in hand. Or possibly he just wanted to go super wide like he does right now. I start the turn going 5 with Smoker. He actually opts to counter out with the Luffy. Then I play Smoker, set the Dawn active. So I was gonna say, so I could play Tashigi here, but honestly it's just better to go Perona into Monet, I feel. Because the Monet being on the field will allow me to apply a lot more pressure, and then the Tashigi doesn't really serve any purpose in this matchup, I think. Because yes, really does play Morgan, but Morgan actually can't affect our Smoker, since our Smoker is going to be an 8k on the opponent's turn because of our leader effect, so... yeah, not really a good target for the Morgan. He swings 5, I opt to counter out, just in case there's gonna be like a bunch of bigger swings coming at me on the next turn. Opponent is on a lot of cards in hand. He plays Sanji. Then attaches a Dawn for the Observation Haki event. Attaches 2 Dawn with his Boa Hancock to his other Boa Hancock. Attaches 2 more Dawn, so making a 7k swing, which I take. And then he's gonna use this Boa Hancock as well to hit me with 8 with the Rayleigh. I'm sorry that the video is like a little bit choppy. So here I go, Morgan, I hit the Sanji, because like what else am I gonna do on this turn, right? I assume I go Virgo, hope to find Smoker here, which I don't, but we do pick up like the Tashigi, which is just another 2k, right, which is kind of fine. Swing 7 on Rayleigh, which he counters out. Then I go 5 with Smoker, which he takes, which I like, and then I play down the blocker Sanji. And now I do have the Paradise Waterfall event live, as well as a 7k blocker and triple 2k. So we're like I would say we're in a pretty good position, even though we are on 1 life. And we do want to stay on 1 life, because we don't want to lose out to the... I don't know the event, but basically just the event that makes the Rayleigh unblockable. We do not want that. So it gives... some more Dawn to Rayleigh, which is at 8k now, so this guy thinks he's playing Zoro. Right, this card. To never doubt, that is strength, or that is power. That's the card. Which we don't like. He boosts the Nami. He swings 5. I would assume I just go... yeah, counter 2k to block this. And then he actually swings 10 unblockable with the Rayleigh, so it's like, okay, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough, so it puts us in a weird position. And we draw another Smoker. So I feel like I have to go for game here, because I don't think he would have done this line if he had another of the 0 cost event, but he does, because he used it to counter out. So I'm like, okay. Now I can go. I have to go for game here for sure, because we just can't counter out of another unblockable swing. It's like, okay, better go for it. Very reminiscent of the last game, in fact. I swing 6. I think I do this 6, and I'm like, because then I can go 7, 8, I think. Which actually is not really the correct way to go about this, to be honest, but... probably should have just gone like 6, 6, 9. Is that a way? Actually, maybe I do stand by what I did. But anyway, he doesn't have the counter, so we win the game. Again, kind of lucky. Moving on to the last one. Going into the last one, and this was actually kind of funny, because this is like we queued into each other 2 times in a row. I won the first game, very close game. And now I'm into the second, and as you can see, I go first, and my hand is like super broken. We have like Virgo into Sanji, into Smoker, Tashigi, which is the perfect curve. He drops Beji on his turn, I swing 5, plays Sanji, he takes it. He swings 5 into our leader, and I up to 1k counter out. I think I hit Hawkins actually with the first swing. So then on the 5th on turn, I just swing 6 first because I want to play around, I don't know, something like a Nami or just a trigger that can pop the Sanji. So I'll go 6, 5, and then go Smoker into Tashigi. Because the yellow kid deck is very, very capable of outing my Smoker. So you definitely have to do this. Like if you have access to it, you do have to commit to this line instead of the more aggro Sanji line. He's like exact same setup because I did open the first game as well with this opening, and he had the same opening as well, but instead of the Okiku, I had Hawkins. So he swings into my Sanji. I just draw Sanji, then he swings into my life, and I grab the third Hodi, and then he plays his Kuma, which that card is like. That card is broken, right? That's really broken. Like, okay, I can't really go for outing the bodies. I just have to go super aggro, I think. So I just play out the Hodi, and I mean, I do have like infinite Hodi, right? So I might just well stick to this game plan. I rest the blockers. I can run it over with my Virgo, and then I assume I go like 7. I would assume I go 7, 5, 8. Play Sanji. It seems like the way here. And then I have like 6 cards in hand, but only 2k counter. But I'm like, I don't really feel like my opponent would go for a game here. That seems like a wild play. But I opt to not risk it. Okay, I can actually also kind of amend this, like, because if he goes like 6, I take 7, I take, then he's probably just gonna swing everything with the kids. And we lose the game there. So I actually, in hindsight, I do respect this play. He counters out of my 8k swing with the Smoker. Then I'll just go 5. Which he 2Ks. Oh, this is kind of crazy. A kind of spicy line I decide to take here. But I do like it because we're very much playing the aggro game. So I'm like, okay, I don't really have to respect the Zeus that much, I think. Because if he goes Zeus to pop my smoke here, I'm actually perfectly fine with that. Like, he goes down to 1 life and I do have like... He's not going to be able to out my Hodi. And then I get to play out another Hodi. Which just plays super well into his leader ability, right? Because he can make whatever he wants into a blocker. I'm gonna rest it anyway. He opts to swing 6k into the Tashigi, which I'm like, yeah, sure, you can do that. I'd rather keep the counter if I needed to protect my Smoker, because that's just the most important card. He swings 5. I think I'm gonna probably counter out of this, because don't want to go too low on life, and he swings 7. I'm like, okay. In hindsight, I might have well just taken the 5, I suppose. Because now he maybe gets to go Kid, trash my life. So I feel like he probably wants to play out a lull here to gain a life back. That seems like the optimal play. Like, go play lull, play out. Is it 1 cost the Apu blocker? That says it becomes a blocker if you have a supernova on field. I think it is. I feel like that's probably the optimal line here. My opponent's thinking about it a little bit though. And I feel like my opponent is really low on counter here, because he took the 5 of the Tashigi. Oh, he actually goes for Katakuri. It's interesting. So maybe he should have kept the Tashigi standing. I'm not sure. And I was like, okay, I feel like I can relatively safely go for game. Like, what is it? 7, 8, 10. And then if he has a trigger, we pivot, I suppose. Yeah. But he doesn't, so I feel like this is probably game. But actually it's like super close. So it's actually exactly game. Yeah, I just think maybe he had no counter when I swung with the Tashigi and I drew the 2k from the Hodi swing. I'm not sure, but 3 very, very close games, but that's kind of like how this deck sometimes goes when you're playing games like this. You kind of just have to go gas and go for it, and honestly, it works a surprising amount of the times. But yeah, that was the first Smoker video for OP12. I will be doing another installment for Smoker for sure, because huge fan of the character, huge fan of this deck as well. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about Smoker going into OP12. I assume nothing is gonna get hit for Smoker on the ban list, which means that it would be pretty well positioned, I think. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you do, I'll see you in the next one.